Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to another video of the Artist Coaching YouTube channel. And if you're listening to the podcast, welcome back to another podcast episode. It's Tuesday again, which means ADE has left the building. It's been a great week. I was there for 2 days this year and I had a really great time. Why? I had a lot of meetings with people and clients from all over the world, so it was really nice to meet all of those people in real life, because having calls over Skype and stuff is cool, but meeting a person in real life is actually really special. So that was great. The lunch and learn that I organized was a great success. It was just really great to meet all of you and to talk about all the things that you were struggling with, finding solutions with the group, and actually making progress alongside having a really nice lunch. So the meetup was also really great. So thanks to everyone who joined the meetup. If you weren't at ADE this year, maybe next year is your opportunity. You never know. But it's been a really great week, and I would always recommend people to come over. So why am I here today? Today I want to record a new episode which includes all the questions you guys have sent in last week, right before ADE. So I asked a question on my Facebook community, on the Facebook group, the Artist Coaching Community group, and on my Twitter. So what I will do today is I will go into those questions deeply and will give you answers to it. So you know what, let's just get started with the questions that you guys have sent in on Facebook, on the Facebook community. The first one is, do you know how the big guys like Hardwell do their radio shows, and how do they handle it with copyright on YouTube? I'm searching for a way to upload DJ mixes, a podcast, without copyright strikes. Well, first of all, most of the big guys get whitelisted, but get whitelisted either by the label or by the artist himself. So they never get copyrighted for those tracks. But that's not all of them, most of them. Alongside that, if you want to start doing your own podcast, I would definitely recommend using an app or a space called Anchor. It's this new thing. I'm using it myself as well for my podcast. It's one platform where you uploaded your episode to one platform, and they will distribute it to all of those other channels. So Overcast, iTunes Store, they will put it out there as well. I would recommend that. Why? Music on those platforms, I believe, it's still not possible to get copyright claims over iTunes podcasts and Overcast podcast and all those other platforms. So I would do my podcast over there, not on SoundCloud and YouTube, because that's the place where you're gonna get copyrighted. So I would do the other ones. So Anchor, that is. I think it's anchor.fm, and they also have an app. Works really great. Next, why is social media more important than music, and how can I get growth on these platforms? First of all, I don't think social media is more important than music nowadays, because you can have the best social media out there, but if your music sucks, it's all worthless. So music still is really important, and I would definitely spend time working on it, because it has to be at a great level. Yes, social media is really important nowadays, definitely. So how can I get growth on these platforms is your questions. It's from Philippe. How can you get growth on social media? You can get growth on social media by being consistent in your output, so in the content that you put out. And in that content, I would recommend to show the people what you're actually doing. So if you're in the studio, you show them that you're in the studio. You show them what you're working on. You show them what you're doing in there. If you're recording something, show them. If you're at a party, show them. Take people on the trip. Take people on the trip towards your success, towards your next goal. People want to join. So I would be consistent. So be there every day. So not just once, not just twice, every day. And show people what you're doing. Take them on the trip towards your success, towards your goal. That's my advice. What can you do with your own music output if your own music output isn't that much? Should you create a podcast with music you like? Well, actually, I would do both, because more output, more content is better in my opinion. So I would do a podcast and I would try to create more tracks. But if your musical output isn't at a level where you want it to be, I would suggest to spend more time to getting it to that level where you want it to be. So that might take you a few more hours a week extra, or that might take you that extra like school or whatever. You have to educate yourself to become a better producer. So if you want to get to a higher level of musical output, you should make sure you get there by becoming better at music production. So education, maybe spend more hours in the studio. Either way, you have to educate yourself and get to a higher level if you want to have more output. What would it take for you to work on a collab with me? Well, I actually stopped making music, so not that much actually. The best networking tips in short. Well, that's actually easy. I would treat your network the way you treat your friends. And why? That's because I believe that building a network in the music industry is just the same as creating friends. So that's why I say treat your network the same as you treat your friends. So that's in short, I think. Mixed live and record it, or use Ableton Live for a mixed podcast. In my opinion, that doesn't really matter because it's a personal thing. But I think, like for me, I always did it in Ableton. If I wanted to do like radio shows, you just have to send it in. And I wanted to make sure that those mixes were perfect, and I didn't have a mixing opportunity at home, so that's why I used Ableton. But I don't think it really matters for like radio shows or whatever, or for your own podcast, as long as your live shows are live. To me, that's the most important. So I think it's a personal decision, but my preference would go to Ableton Live because it's more certain that it sounds well. So that were the questions on the Facebook community group. Let's just dive into the questions I got on Twitter. How can I grow my network? It's actually related to the one that I just answered about networking. I would grow my network by building relationships and maintain them. And that's what I mean with treat your network the same as you treat your friends. What's the difference between your network and your friends? The friends are the people that you actually maintain. You send them a message every week. You see them every week. You talk to them every week. That's not what you do with people you know from the music industry. So that might be interesting to have a look at. To me, that's the way to grow your network, to maintain the relationship and spend time and showing interest in other people's life. You are terrific with the projects you've completed so far. So what's the next stage for you? I think you mean that you've completed great tracks and what the next step for you is. Well, to me, the next step, when you finish your track, to me the next step would be finding a way to get your music out there, finding a way to reach a bigger audience. And reaching a bigger audience all happens with promotion and marketing to me. So the next step for you would be a promotion and marketing plan. So dive deeper into that. If that's something you're interested in, I've recorded a video like series, like 4 videos. It's on my YouTube channel, which explains more about how to create a promotion plan and a marketing plan. So if you're interested, it's on YouTube. Just look it up there. Should I approach big record labels by myself? Or should I release music on smaller labels and wait the invitation from bigger ones? I would wait for the invitation from bigger ones because that's when you have all the leverage. I would just start releasing music on smaller labels or maybe even self-releases. Make sure you reach a really big crowd and start building a brand. And as soon as your music hits the right spots, gets supported by the right DJs and gets featured in a lot of playlists, those big labels will come to you. And that's the position you want to be in. So yes, I would just go and release music on other labels until the big guys come to you. What studies would you recommend to do work in the music industry? Label business, artist management, events. Do you know any schools for this? Well, the thing is, I don't really believe in schools when it comes down to the music industry. I think, especially if you want to work in the music industry and if you want to become an artist, you just have to make a lot of hours. You have to gain experience. You have to gain knowledge. And yeah, in my opinion, it's a better plan for you to start an internship at a company where you would really like to work, and just work there for free, see what it's all about, build your own network within that company. And from there, you will probably get a job, or you can get a job at another business. Because I think in the music industry, businesses are more interested in people with experience than they are in people who have a degree. So that will be my advice on this. So those were the questions I got from you guys last week. Thanks for sending them in. I hope this content was valuable to you. I would like to do these Q&As, more actually. Try to do it every month, I guess, as a podcast and as a video. This was the first. Again, thanks for sending those in. I'm really excited to get back to work, like I mentioned before. Let me know what you guys thought of the new Artist Coaching podcast intro. It's really great. I liked it, so let me know what you guys think of it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.